What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Sleuth Intuition channel. I'm your host, Patrick Vallejos. We are broadcasting to the world live from Phoenix, Arizona. Today, we are going to be doing a review on Hidden True Crimes Jerry Holeman interview. The poll question of the day: what did you think about the interview? Kid gloves, softball questions, great interview, lots of new info. That would be my selection. Nothing new, kind of boring. More propaganda. Richard Allen is innocent. Right now, it's a tie between kid gloves, softball questions, and great interview, lots of new info. And for me, there was definitely tons of new info. So I think we're going to hang out in the chat first. I want to hear what you guys have to say. What is your review? What is your opinion of the interview? And then I have a bunch of notes here that hopefully we'll get to. What's up, Anthony? I wish she would have asked that she didn't. Curious what people thought of Holeman. Like I said, everybody's motivated in their own ways, right? So, and technically, this is evidence. This could be something used in court later on. So he's going to act accordingly for sure. Christine, what's up? A few more times. I heard he refused a lie detector test. Yeah, he refused a polygraph. That was big. That's actually number one on my list. Can probably even tie that in with refusing his DNA. Like, why would he do that? That shit's weird. Yeah, that's a good point too. I wonder why he asked if they arrested his wife. I didn't put that down, but I did find that curious. Like, why would he ask that? What's up, Zoe? Don Spain, what up? Sensei, good to see you. Yeah, so what do you guys make of the polygraph? Sensei says, I don't know if they would be able to do a lie detector test. I've heard when somebody has an anxiety disorder, you can't get an accurate result. I mean, they may have been able to argue that later on, but they're not doing, they're not evaluating people before they give them lie detector tests. It's either, are you going to take this test? Yes or no. What's up, Ziggy? Zoe? Jerry? Hiawatha, welcome in. Says softball questions for sure. I don't know. I thought she asked some pretty good questions. Yeah, Jill, thank you. I'm still a little under the weather, but I think overall it should be back to normal probably by tomorrow, I hope. Yeah, I feel a lot better. What's up, Rescue? Imagine the trolls, Rescue. What's up, Patty? Maxie says Lauren knows what she's doing. Yeah, she did a great job. And if it wasn't for like all her hard work during the trial, I don't think she would have gotten that interview. What's up, right field? Yeah, Don says I haven't heard it yet. I can't comment. So I definitely recommend if you haven't watched it, go watch that first. We're not going to show any of it, of course. So everything we're doing is just kind of giving our notes about it. So I definitely recommend go watching that interview first. The link is in the description. What's up, Brett? What's going on, Lulu? Sinbad, good to see you. What new info did he share? He said the same thing to Murder Sheet. I didn't know he talked to Murder Sheet. Here, I highlighted some of those. The polygraph, I didn't know that he refused a polygraph. I didn't know that Kathy had reacted in that specific manner. I guess she hyperventilated, and the information that Richard Allen gave her about that day was completely different than what he gave to Holeman and Doolin. Another piece that I have highlighted here in my notes, that Richard Allen was freaking out and threatening people while he was incarcerated, even making the threatening to slice people's throats and making like a slashing motion. Like you're accused of slashing the throats of two young girls and you're in prison threatening to slash people's throats. And apparently they had that on video, and Gold told them that they couldn't present it. You remember old biased Judge Gold, the one who's working with the prosecution? That would have been a slam dunk. You got this accused killer making slashing motions and threatening to cut people's throats in prison. Like apparently 1 minute he's sitting there, right? According to Holeman, and he talks about it in this interview. He's sitting there with his Bible, reading his Bible, everything's fine, and the next minute, on the drop of a dime, he's freaking out and he's threatening to cut people's throats. And he basically told Lauren, like, he thinks that's what happened that day when he killed Abby and Libby, something very similar. Wasn't able to show that in court. What else? The clothes, those leaked photos of the clothing in the creek. Apparently, those were taken by a citizen. Let's see. Oh, here's another one. Richard Allen was writing on sticky notes, showing it to his attorneys, and then eating it. I guess he did that a couple times while in the courtroom. Like, what the fuck? I think that might be all the new info. But yeah, we'll go through all this piece by piece. What's going on? She Warrior says Ricky was afraid he would fail the test. Absolutely. Why didn't he take a polygraph? Welcome in. True Psych Ward. Lie detector test results are compared to the person's baseline based on control questions. It is not something that doesn't work because you're anxious. Anxiety is accounted for in the baseline. That makes sense. What's up, Maxi Doodle? My sense is after their discussion of the photos, the defense deliberately leaked them to YouTubers. I won't mention names, but I am thinking of two lawyer creators. Huh. Hint, hint. What's up, James Cope? The reason she got the interview is because she is one of the few podcasters of her kind that was fair, leaned more towards Alan being guilty than not. Yeah, she kind of dealt with the facts. You can kind of see her mind changing through the process. Like as she was reading her notes from what she witnessed during the trial, she was also making realizations like, oh shit, like I'm being extremely convinced at this point in time. Yeah, it was very natural. Yep, there you go. Also, they talked a little bit about Anthony shots during this interview, and Jerry Holman was not convinced that Abby and Libby were not there to meet Keegan Klein or about that connection between the Kleins and Richard Allen. It's as if that's a missing piece for them. And if they don't have evidence, they can't touch on it. You know what I mean? Same goes for the Odinism. Like, hey, we looked there. There's nothing there. We're keeping an open mind. I think that might even be a direct quote. Yeah, here it is. Ruled it out, but kept an open mind. So I'm sure that's what they're doing. Maybe even more so with the Anthony Shot stuff, you know. As of right now, we ruled it out, but we're keeping an open mind. Welcome in, Anna. Richard Allen is mentally ill. Beyond that, I do not find the evidence to be particularly strong. Which evidence? I feel like we didn't get to see anything. I haven't personally. What's going on, Mustang? What's up, Delphi Dummies? Which part's crazy? Are you talking about the new info? So the new info, if you're just joining us, Richard Allen refused a polygraph multiple times. Kathy's reaction after she was told that he's about to be arrested, she began hyperventilating. Apparently told Richard Allen, like, why did you lie to me? You told me a completely different story of what you did that day, and come to find out this is what you actually did. And that's when she said, why didn't you tell me you were out on the bridge that day? It's crazy. Oh, okay. Yeah, let me go back to that. So Richard Allen was writing, according to Jerry Holman, and what he told Lauren during this interview is that one of the things that he found very strange during trial. And if you guys want to watch the interview, the link's in the description there. Richard Allen was writing on sticky notes, showing it to his attorneys, and then eating it. And he did this a couple times. Like, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing? What are you writing on there? I did it, you know? Like, I'm sorry that I killed Abby and Libby, and then he crumbles it up and eats it. Like, what is he writing on? What is he writing on the sticky note that he would then need to hide and dispose of? It's crazy. What's up, Teresa? I thought it was a good interview. I liked hearing his opinion on Richard Allen's odd behaviors from pre-arrest to trial. Yeah, me too, especially his comments. And this is part of my notes too, the comments that he made during the search. He said throughout his entire tenure as an investigator doing serving search warrants, nobody's ever said that. Nobody's ever said, well, this is it. It's all over anyway. He's all, usually the people that are cleared, they say, oh, go ahead. You're not going to find anything. So he's refusing DNA, refusing polygraph, and telling the investigators, well, it's over anyway during the search. What's going on, V. Marie? Yeah, I think so too, Anna. Because if you're guilty, just the fact that somebody brings up the polygraph, like, hey, how do you feel about polygraph, taking a polygraph? If they're guilty, you're gonna see, their eyes are gonna kind of perk up, and they're gonna be like, oh shit, what do I do? What do I do? But most guilty people, they think, oh, I don't need an attorney because if I ask for an attorney, it's gonna make me look guilty. Plus, I'm so smart that I don't need one. Yeah, it was a great interview. Yeah, it sounds a few times she's like, "Thanks for letting me ask that." You might be right, Teresa. Yeah, that would have been a good question. Like, what was up with the Wabash search? What was going on with the Keegan Klein confession? And how did that all tie in with the Delphi and the Richard Allen trial? And where do you stand on that now? Right? Yeah, that's a good point, Anthony. I don't know. Maybe they'll do a round two. Hey, Cindy Lean, what's up? How you doing? Happy New Year. Yeah, but the problem that I have with that, Anna, is that they can't disprove it, right? Betsy Ross, welcome in. He knew about the van that spooked him. Only the killer would know that. Yeah, that was part of his confession. Yeah, remember the only piece of information that ever came out about what Richard Allen was doing, his day to day, like his comings and goings of that day, actually came from him, Richard Allen, during a confession. He said, I was with my mother and my sister in Peru. They went to lunch. I bailed, grabbed a 6-pack of beer, drank 3, grabbed my jacket from my house, went to the trails, saw the girls, attempted to sexually assault them, was spooked by the van, killed the girls to keep them from telling what he had done, covered them with sticks, ran, and then discarded the box cutter in the dumpster at the CVS. What's going on, Melissa? Yeah, that's crazy. That was some new information right there. Writing on sticky notes, showing it to his attorneys, and then eating it. He did that multiple times. Like, how weird is that? What was on those sticky notes? Like, it must have been something weird, right? Like, I'm sorry that I killed Abby and Libby, and then he chews it up. Like, what the hell else would be on there? What's going on, Phil Bond? Miranda Lee. Just here to see if you're doing a respectful review of Lauren's interview. Oh, that's the only reason you're here, Miranda? Christine says, I'm glad he said he was faking using the Bible he found God. Oh, yeah, that's another piece of information that's pretty new. This is one evil man eating paper, feces, etc. What a damn twisted evil person controlling, rolling his eyes at the judge. He's mad that he's not in control. Yep. I think Holman did make a dig at Richard Allen during this interview. At one point, he said he offered him breath mints. I thought that he might have been trying to sneak a little dig in there. I've never heard that before, Anna. I didn't know she had an extreme fear. Maybe he was hungry. I heard that there were a few complaints when he was working at Walmart. Welcome in, Miranda. Nothing serious though. Yeah, so apparently Holman stated that he thought Richard Allen was manipulating his family using religion, through the by using the Bible as a tool of manipulation. And they are very religious from what I've gathered. Yeah, but what is he writing? First of all, he's eating them to hide them like he's some kind of fucking secret agent, right? Like, oh, this message will self-destruct in 10 seconds. Like, what is he writing on? I'm more concerned about what the message was. Like, what are you putting on there? I think it's important. I think that his attorney should have to say what that was. Like, if it was a confession, I don't know at what point. I know that there's client privilege or whatever, but whenever you're the same goes with your therapist or your doctor, right? You have there's a privilege there. But there are exceptions. If you start talking about murder or, the fact that you're harming somebody, they're allowed to go tell the police, like, hey, I wonder if the same goes with attorneys. If they say, hey, I had something to do with this murder, by law, I'm pretty sure they would have to say something, right? Hey, welcome in, Jacqueline. Yeah, Maxie. He said it's over anyway. Like, what if we break something? Don't worry, we'll compensate you. We'll replace it. It doesn't matter. It's over anyway. Welcome in, Eleanor. It does seem that Richard Allen had a lot of rage. It's no wonder he violently murdered Abby and Libby. Now he's hiding behind his Bible. Regards from Ireland. Shout out to Ireland. Thanks, Eleanor. Holy shnikey. Thank you, V. I appreciate you. Happy New Year. She says, hope, health, and happiness finds the crew in 2025. Thank you for that. Thanks, Daisy. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, Sleuth Crew. Spreading those positive vibes. Let's go back up here. Hold on. I think we missed a couple. Delphi Dummies. Maybe you can land an interview with him sometime down the road. Yeah, I don't see why not if he's willing. I've been kinda eyeballing Dan Doolin. I'm putting it out there into the universe. Usually, if you do that first, it has a way of working itself out. What's going on, Red Sauce? How you doing? Happy New Year. Oh, I hate that. I'm glad you're feeling better. Codependent, manipulative, narcissist. Yeah, he might even be a psycho, honestly. I mean, that's the easiest way to hide in plain sight. Just naturally be unaffected by things, right? You're not some kind of mastermind. You're just naturally unaffected. You have no empathy for anything or anyone, other than yourself and the way you appear to others. Controlling the perception. That is a good question. That is a good question. What happened to the tip? Are tips usually kept, or are they documented, filed, and then maybe the recording is erased? Like, yeah, I wonder how that's filed. Like, do they have a recording of Richard Allen calling the tip line saying, "Hey, I was there that day. I'm just, just a concerned citizen. Just wanted to let you guys know that I was out there. And if you need to talk with me, I'm happy to give you all that information. Good luck." Cindy says polygraph can't be used at trial, but didn't everyone who Richard Allen lovers think are guilty give one, but he didn't? Polygraphs, they're not really for trial. I think it's more of like an investigative tool. And I think it helps more to, if you're leaning one way, like if I'm leaning as an investigator, I'm leaning towards guilty or innocent. If you pass this polygraph, it's going to help me to lean more towards the fact that you're innocent. It will help me clear you. Yeah, we know TK took one. Patrick Westfall talks about taking one. Julian Powell talked about taking one. Kelsey German talked about taking one. Taking a few, I think, actually. So they're definitely giving them, right? But yeah, even those folks didn't didn't deny the polygraph. And I don't see anything wrong with denying it or asking for an attorney. I don't judge people for that. Me personally, I think that it hurts, but at the same time, you never know. You never know why they're looking at you, um, what type of people you're dealing with. So the fact that corruption should be something that they're looking at, I think, is important. It doesn't mean that that's what's happening. Yeah, Miss Dog Lover. I definitely don't think it's a tool to be used in the courtroom. It's more of an investigative tool. What's up, Daisy? Catching a flight. Loved the interview. Lauren asked all the questions. Yeah, I thought she asked really good questions. I would have asked about the BG video more. Yeah, I thought it was a good question, her asking about, like, when was it that you realized Richard Allen was the bridge guy? Holman's answer was something along the lines of, after he admitted to being there, something about the timeline, and then him providing his own description of himself that day. He's like, well, that's the bridge guy. Anna, no, that is not new. We've known that pretty much from the beginning, but we didn't know that it was specifically at that time. We just knew that it was somewhere around 3:30. We didn't know that it was like a specific time of 2:27, p.m. or whatever. Sleuth, do you think the Wabash search was looking for Richard Allen's 2017 phone? Honestly, I don't know. I think during Keegan Klein's confession, whether it was real or fake, he made mention of throwing a blade and a phone into the Wabash River. So they could have been following up on that lead, whether it was real or not. The timing is just very, it's very like, you know what I mean? And Holman's reaction during this interview when asked about the Anthony Shots information is very, I found it very interesting. Cindy says Elvis Fields bit cleared up for me in this interview too. Yeah, that's a good point. That is another one of my notes. So apparently, once again, the defense is twisting people's words, misquoting. Um, borderline just telling flat out lies. So when it comes to Elvis Fields, he didn't ask if I spit on the girls and could explain it away. Um, would that be okay? He didn't. That's not the way it went. Apparently, he said something along the lines, if they find his DNA, it's because somebody scooped up his spit off the ground. He was trying to say, hey, if you found my DNA or my spit there, it's because somebody, was following me and picked it up off the ground or picked it up somewhere that I discarded it. So there we have again more manipulation from the Franks memo. So good point, Cindy. Context, right? What's up, Lana? Richard Allen thought enough time had passed that he had gotten away with it. Yeah. Yeah, he did eat some documents. It was like right when he got the discovery and began acting weird. In the newest probable cause affidavit, it states that he was wetting down his paperwork and eating it. And we didn't ever really get an explanation of that. And I'm not sure if the jury watched the video of him actually doing it. I don't know. It's a great question, though, Sinbad. I think it had something to do with them asking to if anybody used his gun. Like, did he allow anybody to borrow his weapon? Did anybody else have access to the weapon? Things like that. And then something about his body language, and he could just tell that he was lying about certain things. So basically, the way he made it sound is if they definitely had enough to charge him. So if he wanted to, he could charge him at any point. But he said typically what they'll do is they'll tell the individual, "Hey, don't go anywhere. Like we're going to be looking over this information. We're going to bring it. We're going to present it to the prosecutor or the district attorney, whatever. And we may issue an arrest warrant for you. So just be available. And if we call you in, you'll turn yourself in, right?" And that's kind of the way Jerry Holman was explaining it during this interview. Is that that's what they were planning to do. Like they had enough evidence. They were going to give him his car back and everything. And then just tell him like, "Hey, we're most likely going to bring charges against you. So make yourself available." But something happened during that interview that's made him say, "Hey, I'm just going to arrest you now." Maybe it had to do with the polygraph. Maybe they just expected him to agree to a polygraph. Canary feather. I don't know, Anthony. That's a good question. I mean, we have Jerry Holman. He just did an interview. I'm sure some of the jury members are going to provide some type of an interview. Somebody's going to offer him a fat paycheck. Yeah, they do. They like to reach, Miranda. They like to reach. I'm going to stretch. We'll make it work. What's up, Angela? So, yeah, he refused a polygraph multiple times. Why did he do that? And then why did he lie to his wife? So he refused his DNA, refused to give him his phone, refused a polygraph, and then lied to his wife about what he was doing that day. Like she had no clue about half of that shit. Like he probably told her, "Oh no, I went to the trails like around 12:30 and I just walked the trail, I didn't even go all the way to the bridge and then I came back." But he knows damn well that Betsy Blair got a good look at him. So when it comes to dealing with the law enforcement, he's got 3 different versions of events for 3 different people. Crazy. Oh, the web. Oh, the web we have spun. The webs we weave. Richard got to play on his tablet and get whatever he wanted. He wasn't abused in isolation like they portray. Yeah, the jury didn't see that. They saw the bridge guy acting like the bridge guy. But anybody that's supporting Richard Allen, their version of events come from the defense team and things that they put in the Frank's memo, which everything that has coming out of that we're proving is a lie. We just found a new lie today about the Elvis Field spit. So they choose to believe those version of events. That's a choice that they're making. Angela says he's eating them to try to manipulate people, so we think he is he is daft. Oh yeah, maybe he did say something like that, Betsy. Let's go to this comment here by Betsy Ross. He was getting irritated with one of those defense guys yakking up with Kathy. Jealous, maybe. I could see that. Like if you stop stop hitting on my wife or something, something crazy like that. I'm very curious as what he was writing on those post-its. I'm wondering, Lulu. I'm very curious. I know you're being snarky, Miranda. I gotcha. I was just giving you one back. Oh, Anthony, that's a good point. Holeman asked Kathy Allen, if you were innocent, wouldn't you take a lie detector test? And she said, yes, I would. Yeah, and apparently she was very uncomfortable. He tried to hug her and she said, she didn't hug him. Like she pulled her arms away. And that's true. That's what he said during this interview, that he asked Kathy, hey, if you were innocent, wouldn't you take a polygraph? And she said, yes, I would. And then and then not only that, but Richard Allen got pissed off. And that's when it started to get heated. It's crazy. It's all becoming clear now, right? The choo choo train song. Oh man, that's legendary. Oh man. Miranda. Maxi Doodle says he also said that due to the gag order, the defense lawyers used a couple creators on YouTube to drum up support for their dumb theories. Yep, and he believes that they did leak those photos on purpose as part of that campaign. And I agree with them. They thought that if they showed the public the sticks or whatever, that it would be irrefutable. But they made a mistake with that, and they made the same mistake with the videos of Richard Allen. They wanted to show this guy being tortured in prison, but what they did was they showed the missing piece that what the image the prosecution was trying to convey to them, of a madman. In my opinion, it would take a madman to do what was done to Abby and Libby. Like, we're looking for a mad person, a person that is insane, out of their mind, a very strange individual did this. We're looking at this crime scene, these photos from the crime scene, and these two dead girls covered with sticks. And then we're seeing the person they've accused of the crimes. We're getting to kind of be a fly on the wall. And they're looking at the killer. They're looking at this madman. And it all just became clear, I think. Angela says he won't do an interview. You don't think Richard Allen will do an interview? I would be shocked. I don't think he could. I don't think he could get through an interview. I don't think he could handle the questions. I don't think that he could keep a straight face. I think physically he's unable to do the interview without keeping the narrative that he needs to keep in order to stay in contact, right, with his family. As long as he keeps his deniability, they can keep theirs as well. And he might get a photograph of his grandchild. He might get some money put on his books. He might get a phone call or a letter or some photographs sent, by mail. But the moment that he truly confesses or starts giving interviews, he's pretty much going to be on his own. So maybe they have to offer him a good deal. Like, hey, we'll give you a shit ton of money if you give us the rights to your book. Then I guess it's a win-win. Never know, Cindy. If we can make it happen, we'll do it. We're not shy. That's for sure. What's up, Big Bird? Now he's back at Westville with the Odins. He's back home. We'll call it Odinville. He's back at Odinville. What's up, Otto? Welcome in. What's up, Nelson? Her interviews are always a narrative push. So you're more think about the interview. Questions is more propaganda. Richard Allen is innocent. So Nelson, you think that it's more propaganda? Yep, we got a scrub report. 116 watching and only 37 likes. Hit the thumbs up. Yeah, go share this button. Or go share the video and hit the like button. And I want to thank V Marie again. Thank you so much. Very generous. So we have two sponsors for today, V Marie and Daisy. So happy New Year and Merry Christmas belated. Thank you, Miranda. Yep, Angela. Was surprised. Holman made it seem as if the story that Richard Allen told her was completely different than the story that Richard Allen told the investigators. So when Holman spoke with Kathy, like, hey, this is what he told us happened, she was like, well, that's not what he fucking told me. What's up, TJ? Didn't see the interview yet. Someone catch me up to speed. Yeah, I definitely recommend you go watch that and then come back here. But I'm about to hit my notes real quick and then we'll bounce. I just wanted to see what you guys had to say in the chat first. Later, Daisy. Safe travels. I agree, Ziggy. I agree. Like it up. I mean, it's all making sense now, right? Everything. Janine, what's up? I myself would like to know a bit more about Dan Doolin. Me too. And I'm going to do my best to get him on. I mean, there's no more gag order. Let's get it out there. All these people were so concerned about social media on both ends, right? Now we know it's 100% fact that Richard Allen's defense was using social media. They even made comments during the sentencing that social media was a huge tool and that they can't, they couldn't just sit by and ignore that. Whoops, somebody just got gifted a membership. Thank you, Zoe. Betsy's asking, can you explain the Geofence results and why Allen fans think it's a big deal? I missed that part. Well, there's a group of people, I call them the Subaru crew. This is a group of people that they all worked together at Subaru. They were out on the bridge. I even think one of them was like cheating on his wife. So they tried to stay out of the limelight and out of the public view. But a lot of people try to say that those could be third party suspects. So the only reason that they weren't allowed to use the geofence information is because they already knew who it belonged to. These folks had been cleared. They didn't fit into the timeline whatsoever. They were accounted for. They had given, probably even did polygraphs themselves. But the defense knew that if they could give that geofence information, it would put other people out on the bridge between the 2:15 mark and the 3 or the 4 o'clock mark where the muddy and bloody person was seen. It would put those individuals on the bridge in between that time and create doubt, right? That's what they were hoping to do. But those guys never once went down the hill. They never stepped off that bridge. They didn't meet each other. They knew each other. So they were corroborating each other's stories, right? So they had witnesses. So even if they were lying, it's completely useless in a trial. They worked, they were each other's alibis. So therefore, no nexus. I don't know, Anna. You didn't see the evidence. Not sure what you mean. Well, he says that it was recycled. Remember, Angela? He says, "Oh, my wife must have recycled it." There's got to be a way to track that down. What's up? Outside of the grid. Welcome in. TJ said, just wanted to say people on Reddit are writing Biden on Instagram to get him one of those pardons. This will all be sorted out soon. Hopefully. What's up, Scott? Good to see you. Maxie says, I found it interesting that when Richard and Kathy came to the police station, Richard was in comfy sweatpants. Yeah, Holman mentioned something about that and that he had emptied out his pockets. So before entering into the police station, he took all his stuff. He emptied out all of his stuff out of his pockets. So he thought he was going to jail. Yeah, I forgot about that, Maxie. So before getting interviewed, he's in sweat. He's basically put himself in jail clothes, right? Something comfortable, knowing that he's going to get thrown in jail. Like, who does that? Who goes to an interview and empties their pockets, refuses a polygraph, refuses their DNA, refuses to let you look at their phone? Like, how do you deny all this shit? You got to be out of your mind. Yeah, especially in his confession, V. You want to know what was going on with Richard Allen? He told him. What's up, Colonel Mustard? They were giving him an opportunity to explain away a few things, but in the interview, Allen gave plenty of probable cause to arrest. And that's a good answer to that previous question. Like, what changed? Holman admitted multiple times that he wasn't really planning to arrest him. So, what changed during that interview? What changed was Richard Allen, things that he had to say, the information he was providing. I think Holman even mentioned that they were waiting on some other results. So they had the bullet results and they were providing that information to him, but I think he said they were waiting on some other things as well. So he could have waited, but if he had to act, it sounded like he was okay with it either way. But it sounded like they planned to wait maybe a day or two. Yep, Christine, that's priceless. He offered him a breath mint. You can't make this up. Yeah, I thought that was a little bit of a dig, offering him a breath mint, knowing that he's been eating shit, you know? Like, here, you need a breath mint, buddy. Well, the defense thinks it's a big deal because it offers somewhat, other than Richard Allen. It gives you this group of individuals that were on the bridge near the crime scene at the time the crime was happening. Okay, Lauren said more interviews coming. Okay, great. Hopefully she does a follow-up with Jerry Holman. And whatever she wasn't able to ask during this interview, she get them in the next one. Yeah, I do remember him saying that, Cindy. He was just drawing poo on those post-its. Nothing to see here. He's like, I'm addicted. What you got there, Richard? Oh, another picture of poop? He's like, yep, I'm gonna eat it. Watch, I'm gonna eat it. Oh, that's pretty funny, V. He did say KK wasn't there. He wasn't there, but didn't know about Anthony's shots. Was it premeditated or by chance? Seen the girls. Yeah, I think he kind of left that one open, huh? Hey, what's up, Teddy? The only time I saw Ricky show emotion during the whole trial was when Kathy came into the interrogation room crying. He started tapping his foot under the desk furiously. Furiously. Yeah, I bet that was huge for the jury. You know, even the wife didn't believe him. Like, why won't you take a polygraph? Why did you lie to me about what you were doing that day? And then I guess Richard Allen was saying, "You know me. You know I'm not capable of this," and like tried to hug her. And she was like, "Nope, don't touch me, dude. Like, why didn't you tell me you were on the bridge? Like, you lied to me." There you go, Teddy. Hey, what's up, Vegas? Says, "Hi, Sleuth. What do you think he did with the trophies? And do you think he went back to the crime scene over the years?" Yeah, I do think he went back. I think he was at the 2018 presser also. I'm sure he's been back to that crime scene. And I think he still has the trophies. He probably has them in a little box, a little keepsake box, wrapped in plastic and buried somewhere. If I had to guess, somewhere near his job or near like his mom's, someplace that he visits regularly. It's probably still right there. It'll be waiting for him in 130 years. Always thought the way he danced at the pool table was weird. I know he was trying to be silly, but more men wouldn't do that spastic bouncing. No, it gave me the feel of controlled substance. There was a comment made that day on Facebook too by Kathy saying that they hadn't been drinking and that she did karaoke for the first time and hadn't even, been drinking. So if they're not drinking and acting all weird and looking drunk, what else were they doing? Makes you wonder. What's up, Steve? Hey, thank you, Julia. Thank you. You guys are the one that you guys do all the work. I'm just the master of ceremonies. But I appreciate that. Thank you.
Excellent.
All right, let's zip on down here. We are running out of time. I mean, I pretty much went over all my notes, but we'll go over them with the fine tooth comb here in a second. Moon Shadow, good to see you. Zoe Kitty, Stephanie, welcome in. All right, Stephanie. I don't know. Maybe they would let him. They would probably let an actual serial killer do it. What's up, Heather? Says Richard Allen gave his phone to police in the beginning. So why did they need it the second time? Yep, there you go. Man, I really wonder where that phone is at. Where is that phone? Imagine what is on that phone. If you want to know if Richard Allen and Anthony Shots are connected, that phone I think would tell you. Man, where is that phone? Is it possible that that phone still exists and is intact? Maybe it's with the trophies. Yeah, they didn't go near the scene. There wasn't a connection to the scene, just to the bridge. The defense were really hoping to have that on there because it would have, even though they're not accusing these people of having anything to do with the crime, and I'm talking about the Geofence folks, the Subaru crew, they know that the jury's mind will just speculate about it, right? And then that in turn will create doubt. What do you mean they kept the phone? What phone? They didn't find the phone. Yeah, but there shouldn't be any doubt, right, Teddy? Like you shouldn't be there going, "Man, you lied to me," and then all of a sudden it's like everything just seems weird, like you don't know what to believe. I feel like she shouldn't have been ever in that position, right? If he's an innocent man. Like there shouldn't have she should have never felt that way. He shouldn't have had a reason to lie to her, right? He's innocent, so he would have told her the truth. Then she wouldn't have been shocked and it wouldn't even have been an issue. Like she wouldn't have reacted in any kind of a negative way because he would have told her the truth. He's innocent. He would have took the polygraph and it would have showed that he was telling the truth. Then he would be a free man. It's just not the case. What's up, Steffa? All right, so let me go through this list and then we're going to get out of here. So we talked a little bit about the polygraph. Kathy's reaction, during the interview. We didn't talk a whole lot about Richard Allen freaking out while he was incarcerated. So apparently there's a video of Richard Allen sitting there. Apparently 1 second he's looking and reading his Bible, right? And then in a drop of a hat, he's up on his feet, he's angry, he's in a fit of rage. And he's threatening to cut the guards' throats and he's making a slashing motion. Now, if you can explain that to me, right? But Goal did not allow the video in. Was that leaked to the public? No. Did the prosecution leak like, "Oh, Goal won't let me have this video in. It'll prove that he's the bridge guy, but she won't allow it in. She's working with Richard Allen." No, that would have been devastating. Imagine how powerful that would have been. A video of Richard Allen freaking out of nowhere, right? And threatening to cut people's throats. But not only that, but actually making the motion. He's accused of killing people by slashing their throats, and he's making those same threats. Come on, guys. It doesn't take a rocket scientist here. What's going on, Steffa? All right, let's see what else we got here. Oh, and also the clothes in the creek, those photos that were leaked. Apparently, those photos were taken by just some random citizen, maybe somebody that was on the search, but they weren't there in an official capacity. Yeah, that's true, Julia. That only works on certain people. You're right about that. Excellent. Vegas Sleuth, do you think he told somebody what he did? I mean, the truth always comes out when you're drinking. No, I don't. I think Richard Allen I think somebody I think he's damaged goods. Like something happened to him as a child. And I hate to put it that way, but I think that's the way he viewed himself, right? As damaged goods. So I think he was one of those people that lived in their heads. I think that was him. So he doesn't need anybody. He just needs to he latched onto his wife. That's who he carries around like some kind of weird, that's his avatar in this, that's his escort in reality, right? Through the real world, as long as he holds on to the back of her dress, he's fine. But in his own mind, it's kind of like the movie The Cell. Like he's the king there. That's where he prefers to be there. He's going to be right at home in prison. So I don't think he even felt the urge. So in the real world, he's dependent on his wife, but in his mind, in that fantasy land, he's right at home. I think it's pretty easy, Heather. For Richard Allen, all he had to do is explain what he was doing that day. If you're not over here committing a double homicide, what were you doing? He doesn't need to talk about Odinism or create a third party suspect or do all this. I mean, it's pretty simple. If you're not over here being this killer, what are you doing? Right? Okay. And if you tell me what you were doing, apparently what he was doing was spending time with his mother and his sister. So don't you think that if it was beneficial to him, the defense would have sat them down and said, "Can you talk to us a little bit about Richard Allen and his behavior that day?" Well, the only reason that he didn't sit them down on that bench was because they were going to tell a story about how he was pissed off about something, about how he was acting crazy. They don't need Odinism. If he's innocent, they just need the truth. What were you doing? They know that he wasn't on the trails because everybody that was on the trails after that 1 or that 2:15 marker, which pretty much marks the time of the kidnapping, nobody saw Richard Allen again. Nobody saw him on the bridge, on the trails, or anywhere. So in order for him to say, "Yeah, well, I was there, but I didn't commit the murders," well, nobody saw you, bud. That would be amazing, V. That's a good question. Yeah, if you're ever going to reach out to Richard Allen, that should be the question. Remember we were asking the other day during the live stream, what would you ask Richard Allen? There you go. That's the question. Where is the phone? Like, don't lie. Where is it? Where's the phone and where's the trophies? Well, it's a red flag, Betsy, when you have 15 old phones and the one that you did not keep is the one that you had during a double murder that you're being accused of. Like, you don't get rid of any phones but that phone. Yeah, either do I, Steffa. That's like reaching. I agree with you. It's all because he lied to her. The web that we weave. Oh, the web we weave. Julia thinks he destroyed the phone. I wouldn't doubt it. There's just something about Richard Allen. I feel like certain things he just can't destroy. Especially if he used the phone to take photos and things like that, maybe even a video. Like, there's just absolutely no way he would be able to part with that phone. Unless he downloaded the images or the video to another device, got rid of the phone, and then that device is in his little keepsake box. Get him, Steffa. Speak your mind, girl. Yep, there you go. Protecting the evidence. What's up, Typo? Lauren and Grayson impressed me so much with how they came down for the trial and really immersed themselves to get a good understanding. Exactly. That's how she's able to conduct this interview in the way that she is, because she did the work. You know, she doesn't need to like, oh, let me check my notes here. Like, it's right there. It's right on top of her mind. Like, if anybody knows about what happened during that trial, it's her. Like, she's already done all the work. Now it's just like there. Easily accessible. Okay, what else do we got here? Holeman also mentioned early on that all of the experts, like the blood spatter experts who worked on his team, said that Libby's tree was not painted, that it was a palm print, and that they did kind of go down the ritual killing. They went down that rabbit hole. I think his quote was, "We ruled it out, but we kept an open mind," and that they were very focused on not getting tunnel vision, and that they were open to investigators who wanted to go down that rabbit hole. He said multiple people chose to go down that, say, hey, we want to just check down this, go take a look at this angle. He said, yeah, he was open to it. Holeman admitted to using deceptive tactics. We like to call them lies. He referred to them as deceptive tactics. He said it was very similar to questioning your child. Did you take a cookie from the cookie jar? You would use certain tactics to get the right answer, or to get them to confess, or to give you to react. So I think that's it, guys. So if you want to check out the full interview, it is in the description below. I'll do my best to catch up on the chat, and then we'll close this one down. Make sure you guys participate in the poll. The question is, what did you think about the interview? Answers are kid gloves, softball questions. 28% of you selected that. 46% agree with me that it was a great interview and lots of new info. 11% say nothing new, kind of boring. 15% of you say more propaganda. Richard Allen is innocent. I will just go ahead and close that out. Odinsville. Yeah. Rick. You've reached the voicemail of Rick. Maybe he changed it to the bridge guy. Yep, that's exactly how the kids died. And he's threatening people. He's like, you don't know what I'm capable of. And they're like, yeah, we do. We know exactly what you're capable of. If you piss him off, that's what he'll do to you. He'll cut your throat. So you can wish him to be free all you want, but the truth is, if you do leave him with your children and they piss him off, there's a good chance that he'll do that. We know that that's a fact. What's up, CJK? Good to see you. Anybody else that I missed, I do apologize. If you're part of the replay crew, you know what to do. Leave a comment. We'll get back to you. All of you who sponsored today's live stream, especially you, V, thank you. That was so generous of you. Happy New Year. Thank you, Daisy, Zoe, for giving out memberships. Very thoughtful of you. And Julia Burns, thank you so much for the super chat. And all of you members, thank you. You guys make it possible. And everybody who continues to donate to the Cash App and the Venmo and the Zelle, thank you guys so much. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to all of you guys and all of my mods. Thanks for keeping the chat chill. Silverleaf, what's up? Stroopwaffle. Interesting name. Anthony France, what's up? Definitely recommend anybody who hasn't watched the interview, go watch it. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen the interview, it's quick. It's like an hour and like 15 minutes of actual interview. And I mean, they get right down to it. Kimmy, how you doing? Hope you have a great holiday. Happy New Year. Hope you had a good Christmas. And I think that's everybody. No, Sassy. Missed you. Welcome in. Got you earlier, Jacqueline. Yeah, but I think we went over everything that I had noted about the interview that I thought was worth talking about. But go watch the interview yourselves. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And I'll see you guys on the flip side. Have a great day. And I'll see you very soon. Peace.